if you're watching this, you're already part of the resistance. But resistance is what we're talking about today, resistance against all the terrible things happening in America right now. But before we go into the story, go on to Lulu, have a look at this. It's cool. I did it. Maybe you want to read it. I don't know. And yes, haircut's still in place. Right, now, here we go. We got amazing stories here. We got the Witch Shield Project, which is started right after the Muslim ban, and covens nationwide in the United States of America are creating protective amulets for targeted communities. So whether it works or not is irrelevant. The fact of the matter is a symbol of compassion and empathy and unity is being given out to these people. They've distributed 50,000 plus protection charms to immigrants, LGBTQ plus folks, and minorities of all sorts. That's inclusivity, I like that. That's diversity, I like that. Each charm contains contact information for legal aid. So, what they're doing is they're passing on how to get out of difficult situations through New Age jewelry. Then there's also Bridges Brigade, which is a feminist witches group who's been sabotaging ICE raids. Power to the people. Through magical means, they use scrying to locate upcoming raids, then flood tip lines with false intel. Last month, they helped 23 families escape detention. Victory. The heathen patriots are Norse pagans who've been absolutely feral about protecting indigenous rights. They've been physically blocking pipeline construction, claiming it violates sacred land, and 3 members just beat federal charges using religious freedom arguments. So they're fighting to protect the environment, using religious arguments against the power of like big oil. And we're having little victories. You know, the progressive, decent people having little victories here. Then there's the underground herbalists. These are Dianic witches creating safe abortion networks, you know, after the Roe versus Wade thing. They're growing medical herbs in secret greenhouses, they're teaching emergency contraception, and they're running underground railroads to safe states. You know, they're ferrying people out of dangerous areas. This is good. Then there's the digital coven resistance, which is all like really tech-savvy witches who've been hexing government databases. Okay. They've also crashed the Texas abortion snitch website 3 times, and now they're working on protecting voter registration rolls in swing states. These are people supporting democracy. I love you. All right. Now, the clever thing is, and this is how the story goes, these people are coordinating using very, you know, simple hashtags which mean something to the community. And I'm not going to tell you what they are because, you know, that might be difficult. But, you know, just like little Instagram posts, little comments on Facebook, or a YouTube video, little hashtag thrown in, that actually means something to do with how they're going to take action. All right. Then there's heathen groups who have quadrupled their mutual aid efforts. They're now feeding 3,000 plus people weekly across 15 cities, but it's disguised as blood feasts, disguised as a religious thing for our culture. But essentially, they're bringing people in who need to be fed, and they're using religious freedom as a means of protecting them against the problems in America at the moment. And now we got the courtroom conjurers. Now these are Wiccan lawyers. They're offering free legal aid using religious freedom arguments. They've won 89% of their cases protecting minority rights. And they file every motion on specific moon phases. They're using astrology to help. I mean, I don't know about that, but it's the actual political action that we're talking about here to create change in the world, okay? And it's all in the underground. You know, these are people, you know, people with a good heart going out to do things. This is what we need to encourage. We don't need to have religious lunacy. We need to have people who are being inspired by the stories of their faith, and understanding of nature, and understanding of text to do things. All right? That's essentially what this is all about. Resistance. And genuine people power having an impact on other people's lives. You know, taking stewardship over life. Yeah, it's good. It's great stuff. Keep on doing it. Please. Please. And one day we'll have a situation whereby we can have more collective action, so all the pagan groups can actually work together to do collective action to try and destroy the problems in society, and maybe they could even get together with a few Christians and do it as well, because essentially it's doing good in society, which is what we should be focusing in on, right? You know, unity, you know, diversity is okay, but when we reach division, then it's bad. But if, like, this kind of thing is something we can all get around, then maybe we could stop worrying about the traditions we do and stop worrying about the various different ways in which we're casting circles, and instead we can start thinking about, hang on a second, there's real issues out there, man. Alright? So, keep cool. Speak to you again soon.